Action Team 2. I'm Dawn Millitzer, Manager of Education Services at Major Health Partners. I oversee the Nurse Extern program. Obviously, that's why it's important to me to be on Action Team 2, because it's the biggest recruitment tool we have at Major Health Partners, and we like to gear that program towards Shelby County residents, inviting those students who have graduated from this community, go off to college, but actually that want to come back here and invest their time and have their career with us. And most importantly, I am a mother of 4 children, all currently in the school system. I want them to want to have a career, come back to this community and live, all 4 of them, and that's why I'm heavily involved in Action Team 2.
Good morning, my name is Pat Lumbley, and I'm proud to be the principal of Hendricks Elementary School in Shelbyville. Prior to that, I was fortunate enough to work in both Morristown schools as well as Southwestern. So I've worked in 3 different corporations in Shelby County. I've become very familiar with many of the wonderful communities here. Prior to becoming an administrator, I taught in the classroom for 10 years and through other areas, whether that be student government, whether that be Future Educators of America, coaching. I've worked with students virtually of all age groups from all parts of our country and all over the world, literally. And I bring a different perspective to this. I'm a native of Bloomington, Indiana, the quote-unquote college town. So being part of Shelbyville, as I have been the last 8 years in Shelby County, I bring a little different perspective to it, and I see so much potential, as I think everyone here today sees, and that's really what we hope to try to foster through our work in Action Team 2. Just a quote that I thought was very timely. And children, after all, are not just adults in the making. They are people whose current needs and rights and experiences must be taken seriously. So as we looked at what our schools were doing, what our community was doing, we really pinpointed that grades 3 to 9 group, which is roughly 8 to 14 or 15, because that age group, you're starting to, the academic level starts to pick up at school. Maybe some of the outside influences start to become more prevalent in their lives, and we decided that was a group that really needed that additional support. And so we needed to look at what was out there for that group to ensure that they would have the support they need to be successful. So as we looked at it, we decided that we would call ourselves Youth Development, because what we hoped to do was develop our youth into successful adults. And we arrived on an outcome statement of Shelby County youth will achieve excellence in academics, physical and emotional well-being, career planning, and civic involvement.
We came up with 4 pillars, and those pillars, as you can see, are academic success, career planning, physical and emotional well-being, and community or civic involvement. So we started our focus looking at grades 4, 5 through 9th grade, and by doing that, it really came down with what our main goal was: career planning. What did they want to be when they grew up? And
so then we decided our process was going to be, our focus is going to be increasing 21st century scholars registration throughout the county, followed by the mentoring of students by community volunteers, and then providing career cruising opportunities at local high schools.
The 21st Century Scholar Program has been around for many years. Since 1990, actually. It's one that, after we did some research, realized this county was losing millions of dollars of potential for our students who actually qualified. So how does a student qualify? It's income eligible, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. They enroll, they make a commitment not to use drugs, smoke, drink, make a certain grade point average. And I'm sure you guys have seen, if you read the Star and News, of how they're looking at that program. But we're going to keep pushing through, because we know that is the best way for all county students to realize their potential of going to college, to apply for this. And it's really easy. And if they go to a state college, they have their tuition paid in full.
50% of the students in our county who meet the criteria for this program. But as we did research for it, about 17% were actually enrolled.
So what we did is we requested volunteers who wanted to be trained for the 21st Century Scholar to actually enroll. We did maybe like back to school night, we did enrollment days, and we had a station there. Many schools provided us with computers, so it's all online so that we were able to do that. It takes 5 minutes. So we increased the number and helped.
As we look at the next part of our process, and that was mentoring these young people, I found this quote that I thought was very fitting. It says, "The more we increase the active participation and partnership with young people, the better we serve them. And the more comprehensively we work with them as service partners, the more we increase our public value to the entire community." And our focus group that we looked at, grades 3 through 9, has two major transitions. One, you're going from elementary school to middle school, and that's a huge change. You know, I work at an elementary school, and I can tell you, even some of my most animated fifth graders, when they come back from that visit to the middle school, they've got a different look on their face because it's a different world for them. It's a major transition. And then when you take students from the safety of the middle school in that 8th grade year, and they're going over to the high school, and all of a sudden, that end of public school is in sight. That's a huge, now they need to start looking forward. They need to start looking at, well, what am I going to be doing in 4 years? We really felt like just getting a child involved in 21st Century Scholars was not going to be the silver bullet to get kids in Shelby County to go to college. We had to do more than that. And that's why we felt the mentoring piece was so important.
In this process, because measurable outcomes are so important, we looked at Grant County, who increased within a short period of time the number of students enrolled in their 21st Century Scholars up to like 98%. And we felt like we could do that as well, but what we're going to be the support system. With that, we started speaking with family services and prevention programs because we don't run programs. That's not our goal. But they have a wonderful mentoring program in Grant County that several people went to, looked at what they did, and now we have this wonderful program being announced from the Family Services and Prevention Programs called PACS. And PACS is preparing adolescents for collegiate success. And the goal is to align those 21st Century Scholars students with a mentor. And that mentor would meet with them, and the requirements will be back on Action Team 2 table if you're interested in doing it. But it's once a week. And the difference that you, as an adult, whether you're a business owner, whether you're just a community member who wants to be involved, a parent who no longer has kids at home, the impact is great because what they've seen in their research, it does increase the opportunities for those children to go to college because they're more successful. They have reason, they have mentoring. So because of Blue River Community Foundation and a grant, we'll be starting that soon, and I believe there will be mentors in the majority of our county schools available to those students. Alongside that, one piece that many of the schools had the opportunity to have, I know Shelbyville Central Schools had career cruising and was utilizing that before, but because of a grant, career cruising is in all of our county schools. What is career cruising? It's a wonderful online tool. It builds a portfolio for students. It can be used. Northwestern Triton District actually began a class in 8th grade where they learn how to do it. They do career exploration. I love it because I have a junior in high school, and you can plug in all these demographics and questions, and I think 95 different scholarships appeared that my son would be eligible for. Once again, a tool that can be used for our students to be preparing for a career path, a lifelong learning path.
So then the big question is, what can you do? How can you get involved? First now you can become a mentor. You can help enroll 21st Century Scholars. We do this periodically at the different schools, maybe during registration days. I know that some of the middle schools have special nights to get kids enrolled. Become a 21st Century Scholar enroller, or you can just join our action team. I think it's also important to just support young people in our community, whether that's volunteering at a local school, whether that's coaching youth sports at either, the Boys Club or Girls Incorporated, or maybe through different church leagues. Participation there, that's a wonderful thing as well. Getting involved with young people in any way, shape, or form. Wrapping up, finally, I guess the big question is, in 10 years, what will Shelby County be? Our 2010-11 kindergartners, that is going to be the first group of Shelby County residents who will be able to benefit from every aspect of the aspiration process. However, we're not just going to sit there and say, well, let's not worry about all the kids grades 1 to 12 or all the people out of school. We have a lot of work to do with other people as well. And so what we hope is that through our work in developing a process with the 21st Century Scholars, with the career cruising, with the PACS program, we're hoping that we can make an immediate impact on those students in that age group that we are focusing on at this time, and that maybe in 10 years those are going to be the people who are coming back to Shelby County to raise their families, to participate in the community, and are willing to get involved maybe as PACS mentors themselves, maybe pay for